Wife, Daughter, Self, a memoir and essays, is about who we are when we're caring for or collaborating with another, and who we suspect ourselves to be when we are in those stolen moments alone. We contradict ourselves, we repeat ourselves, we say what we want and we don't. We decide how much of us will give away and how much of us will save, but from whom? From what? It's a daily calculation. I've drifted in and out of indie bookstores for years, collecting the true stories written by others. I've interviewed our great memoirists, written of their work. I teach the genre at the University of Pennsylvania and through Juncture workshops, and I've created books about the making of memoir. I've created workbooks. And yet the form remains plastic to me, a very special sort of literary dynamism. Wife, Daughter, Self is not then just an examination of one life set to rhythms of universal questions. It's an exploration of and commentary on the memoir form as I currently understand it, and I do stress currently. My understanding changes. What follows here is a photo-amplified reading from Wife, Daughter, Self, 3 short passages from 3 different places in the book. So I start with an essay called Lily Lake, and in the essay itself, I'm reflecting on the textures of a 33-year-old marriage. I'm thinking about my Salvadoran husband, who is an artist, and me as a writer, and how we know each other so well and yet remain strangers to each other. This is just a small piece of it. Sometimes here at the cottage at Lily Lake, my husband kayaks with me. Sometimes in the 2-seater pod, I kayak alone. Over the whispering forest of the lily pad stems, over the fragrant flowers, toward the opposite edge where the black bear live in the black shadows, and the bald eagle has built a 7-foot nest. There are 40 feet of depth beneath me and those creeping stems, the mud. And there's a blue heron that rests all its weight on a red-veined lily pad. It doesn't matter how far I go on the lake, because wherever I go, my husband is in the quiet near. He is on the dock casting. He's on the dock reeling. He is letting the bluegill and the pumpkin seed and the black crappie go. He is slender, he is handsome, he is white-haired, an elegant man from a faraway country, at a lake in the country I'm from. In this next essay, a long essay in the piece called A Shelter for the Truth, I'm writing about the journey my husband and I took to build a community of writers. We were at a place in our lives where we wanted to figure out what would be meaningful to us, what we could do, and we decided we wanted to build a very small community. We started that journey on a farm, and this is towards the end of the essay. I'm reading about a writer named Star. That is actually her name. On Friday, we meet again for the last time. We gather in the daisy chain of hard and soft to hear the prologues that have come to be the vessels these writers will carry home, these containers of voice, mood, story. I take my place in that hard chair. I thank the writers for being there, for coming in the first place, for remaining. And now our star begins to read, and suddenly, like the long tail of a white cat, her truest story swooshes into view. A city's legacy, a personal myth, a mother brightly seen, a writer's beginning. She reads and I cannot speak. My tears run hard. I lift my eyes to find hers. Really, Star says when she's done. Really, I whisper, because her work is that good, because she has traveled this far, because she is here with us, strangers no longer strangers, strangers on a raft. Memoir is the life wanting to be transformed. It's the life we have been waiting for. And then finally, in an essay called Here If You Need Me, I'm writing about taking my frail father out to a balloon festival on a really hot day. And I probably shouldn't have done that. And I'm regretting the whole time, thinking how irresponsible I was to try to force this thing upon him. And yet, as it turned out, I wasn't forcing him at all, and he allows me to see his joy. This is towards the end as those balloons finally take off after a long afternoon of waiting. The breathing lungs of the once dormant balloons, the peaceable chaos of stars and moons, greens and yellows, weaves of primary hues, riplocks, parachute tops, insignia and brands, a panda. The crowd is thick with joy. The crowd sings to the songs that the loudspeaker blares. The crowd is one single thing on the ground, and the balloons are their singular things in the sky, all streaming breezeward in the same direction, over our heads, away from the sun, to a not-so-distant touchdown. And now even the official photographers have stopped taking photographs to watch. When one balloon nudges another during takeoff, it's not a nudge, it's a kiss, and we roar. I feel myself exhaling, and beautiful is the only word I have. Beautiful. And my father has seen this. He is standing right there. He is at the fence looking up. Nothing tethered. Everything released. I'm so grateful to Laura Stanfill at Forest Avenue Press for bringing Wife, Daughter, Self out into the world in March 2021.